A Sunday morning in summer. For Alec and his grandson, that means only one thing: getting the village cricket ground in perfect shape for the afternoon's game.
I hope this new chap, John, is as good a batsman as they say.
When John's company moved him out of the city, he looked for three things: a big house, a big garden, and a good village cricket team. And he was confident that keeping his garden under control wouldn't prevent him from playing cricket.
I think quite a lot of people would have been put off buying this house just because of the size of the garden, but it didn't worry us. We had a small Westwood at our last house, so we knew the garden would be no problem at all. But we needed more power here, so I went for the T1200. It's got a 12 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, which in simple terms means plenty of oomph whenever you need it. They're precision twin-blade 36-inch cutters, which do a lovely job. But what swung it for me was the powered grass collector. It's a brilliant piece of innovative engineering. 7,000 brushstrokes a minute. It's driven by a power takeoff, run like a farm tractor. Picks up all the cuttings, even when it's wet. And look at the stripes it leaves. So the garden's no worry. The only thing that bothers me is this bowler they've been warning me about.
Richard from the next village has for many years been considered one of the locality's demon bowlers. But he finds his garden a devil of a problem.
Well, here goes.
Joan, on the other hand, takes great pride in keeping her garden just so.
Of course, without my Westwood, I'd not be able to go on living here. I'd never be able to cope with all this garden. Not on my own. Oh dear, no. But my, what's it called? S800 makes cutting the grass so easy. And I must admit, it's rather fun too. I can cut it exactly the height I want. And to change it, I just move a lever. And it's not only the cutting that's impressive. The vacuum grass collector picks up all the clippings. Then to dump them, you only have to pull. There. All done. And I didn't even have to stand up.
Westwood S-Series tractors, like Jones, are the perfect solution for any lawn which takes an hour or so to mow. Robust, stable, really built to last. Yet they don't cost that much more than a walk-behind mower.
I do think a nice lawn sets a garden off so well. I'm so glad Alec told me about these tractors. Now there's a man that knows his grass.
Keeping the whole ground looking good, even the rough stuff round the edge of the field, is pretty straightforward. But I can't help wondering how Peter manages up at the manor house. He's got acres of the stuff.
In Father's Day, before the war, we had a staff of 20, including 3 full-time gardeners. Dad never lifted a finger. Mind you could say that I don't either. Since I got my Westwood, mowing's not exactly strenuous. This lot would be enough to clog most machines, especially after last night's rain. But not this one.
Peter chose the D1200, which can tackle the toughest jobs in the biggest gardens. D's for diesel, which means economy, 8 acres to the gallon, and durability from the high-performance Lombardini engine, which is virtually maintenance-free. And it's got the power to cut any grass down to size, even taking slopes safely in its stride. There's nothing to beat a Westwood for accurate cutting and really efficient grass collection. Plus, the beauty of traditional stripes too.
Of course, the chaps at Westwood spend a lot of time making sure their tractors do everything a gardener would want them to. They take the trouble to listen to gardeners and have come up with no end of modifications and improvements to make life easier. If there's something new in garden technology, you can bet your life they thought of it first. They and their dealers go to great lengths to ensure that every tractor is delivered in tip-top condition. And sure enough, mine's never let me down. And that's with one service a year. I like to get out here on a Sunday morning. It gets me in the right frame of mind for the afternoon's game.
Alec had been thinking about nothing else since 8 o'clock.
Oh, well, we shouldn't have any problems with the light today.
This grass, it seems to grow so fast. I wish I had time to cut it every week.
John's well aware that Westwood T-Series tractors are built with big gardens specifically in mind, and with the accent firmly on quality. The sort of quality components, engineering, and attention to detail that's going to last for years. Gardeners throughout the country are so impressed with the T1200's efficiency and value for money that it's Britain's best-selling garden tractor.
That's what I call a lawn, and finished well before lunch. Great day for cricket too, which will make Alec a happy man.
Alec's never happier than when he's working on his beloved wicket.
I really don't know how people like Joan manage. And her garden's much bigger than mine.
Joan manages very well, and has time for much more than grass cutting this morning. And there are all sorts of Westwood accessories to help her keep all her garden under control.
This spray attachment is wonderful. I'd just about given up on controlling the green fly before I got it. I couldn't lug gallons of spray around anymore. By the time I'd reached the roses, I didn't have the strength to work the pump. The road trailer, that was a Christmas present. Not that I get to use it very often. But I don't let my daughter get her hands on the dump truck. I find that's handy for all sorts of jobs. Right. Just connect the pump to the electrics, switch on, and it's goodbye green fly.
That grass is going to grow for another week if the fruit trees are going to get the attention they need.
Perhaps if I got up a little earlier. There's never enough time.
Alec believes in getting things just right. And his grandson shares his enthusiasm. Cutting the grass is one thing, but improving it, especially when there are children around to leave their mark, can be a tough job.
I'm not saying that Westwood have thought of everything, but with this lawn groomer they've come pretty close. It rakes, sprays, spikes, and slits. All jobs which would take literally days to do by hand. And that's time I just haven't got. And with this fertilizer spreader, I can treat an acre in less than an hour. my ballasted roller sorts out the bumps. Just as effective rolling paths, too. That's the great thing about owning a Westwood. Everything round the garden's done so quickly and efficiently that most of the weekend's my own.
Alec's nearly done. Just the finishing touches. Which is more than can be said for Richard.
There's got to be a better way. Damn it, the match starts soon. I'd better get going.
Keeping 3 log fires going through the winter takes a bit of planning. Not to mention a hell of a lot of logs. Thank goodness the D1200 does the hard work. And it can get deep into the woods where big tractors just can't go. This heavy-duty dump truck will carry half a ton. That's enough logs for a week or so. And there's little chance of getting stuck with these chevron tires. You can even get snow chains. And a snowblade, too. That's a few more warm winter nights. I can haul all sorts of other loads besides logs. Tools, earth and rubbish. You name it, it'll carry it. There's no end to what a Westwood can do for you. Looks set for a perfect afternoon.
Everything's ready for the match. All that's missing now are the players and spectators.
Okay, guys.